Our second demonstration is going to be for showing you what the APSA 80 will do for peat moss. As everyone knows, peat moss is not the product. I'll try to put these over here where they're out of the way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a peat moss tablet into each glass. Now remember, we're going to put the APSA 80 in the right one, my right, your left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a little tiny drop of APSA 80 in there. I'm going to stir it up. And then we're going to drop a peat moss tablet in each side. Okay? Now while that's sitting, where you can see how the absorption rate and what the difference will be, I'm going to do another little demonstration for you. Steve, can I have that? Thank you, Steve. Now, what we're going to do here is we have sprayed a little APSA 80 onto this cardboard, and you can faintly see it there. But what we're going to do is show you that even as you saw in the last demonstration how the APSA 80 makes the water soak into the soil. Through the Irrigation Research Foundation, 9 years of testing, literally hundreds of tests, they have found that the APSA 80 will make the soil absorb the water up to 34% faster, and that literally roots on crops such as corn can go from 12 to 14 inches, 34 to 50% deeper because it breaks down the compaction. One of the incredible things about APSA 80 is that even though it's biodegradable, you can put more water on it. It's activated by the water. So the water is what makes it percolate and break down into the soil. So you could do this literally, put APSA 80 on as we did here, and a year later you could come back and spray this on, and you can use this with water probably up to 5 to 10 times before it breaks down. So I'm just going to spray this for you, so if you can zoom in there and you can see this, and you can see immediately how the water is just running off everywhere that the APSA 80 has not been touched. But you can see almost immediately how the water is starting to penetrate the cardboard. And this would do the same for your soil. So that's a really neat demonstration there. Now while we're still here, I'm going to do another demonstration for you. And I'm going to take a piece of dried out soil. This has been very, very dry. Thank you, Steve. And we're going to pour some water across this. This is just straight water. So watch carefully how this will work. We're just going to pour water. There goes the water. There's that great rain you were so excited about. That's going to do wonderful things for your soil. And then what we're going to do is we're going to spray it. I think we are. We're going to spray it with some APSA 80. So there's just a little light dusting of APSA 80. And now we're going to pour the water on. See where the water goes? I hope you can see that. There's that great deluge of rain you're getting. And as you can see, I am tilting it back just because so much of it's going through. But as you can see, I can pour it in, and it just consistently goes through the soil. So as you can imagine, that is going to give you an incredible amount of use of water. As we mentioned before, with the Irrigation Research Foundation, we have found that you will absorb 34% more water and save up to 2 inches per acre of your water usage. Now let's come back to our peat moss, and as you'll see how it's working here. But while we're doing that, Steve, if you'll hand me another tray. This one is another little thing that we'll try to do, and if you can zoom in here real close. We'll try the peat moss with the APSA 80, where we're just going to take a little tiny drop, and we're just going to put that in a little drop right there in the middle. Now we're going to come over here and just see if we pour water on these two. So we'll pour a little water on this one. I'm going to spread them out just so that we can uh-oh, my peat moss over here is about to sink. You can see the difference in the peat moss, but we'll come back to that one. So let's see when you got this real dry soil and you pour some water on it. See if you can see a noticeable difference. Okay, so we're just going to put a little bit on there to kind of cover it up, and then same thing here. Okay, can you see that? Isn't it amazing how the surface tension, the water will just bubble up right on top of that? And for those guys that use herbicides and pesticides, you can see right away what happens with your water when it gets on soil. It costs a farmer almost $15 to $20 per acre in order to break up the soil, to plow it or to cultivate it. In residential applications, we've all been aerating our lawn for years and saw very, very little results. So this is a really incredible demo to show you that how the more water we put in once we've applied the APSA 80, you can see there's hardly any water outside of the peat moss. Over here, the water is still just bubbled up and sitting on top of it. So just for fun, since we have some extra water here, we're just going to keep kind of pouring this in there and see what happens. And as you can see, it keeps absorbing the water and absorbing the water. So it's incredible what this APSA 80 was such a tiny amount. I mean, that was just a little less than a dropper full. Now come back over here to our other peat moss test, and you can start seeing the dramatic difference. So we hope you enjoyed our demonstrations today.